Well, welcome to Three Count Commentaries. The NWA Hard Times 3 was one of the worst pay-per-view events I probably have ever seen. And to be quite honest, it was an event that could only be held by a company that is committing suicide. I mean, this is the equivalent of putting on sweet jazz music, throwing in some bath bombs, sitting in some warm water, and just slitting your goddamn wrists. And just sitting there waiting as people start to bleed out. Interestingly enough, this morning I listened to Nick Aldis with Sam Roberts, and he was discussing why he left the NWA once again, just to put a little bit of a fine point on it. And he talked about the creative changes, and it all kind of started when they took the title off of him the first time, not Cody, but the time afterwards, and tickets weren't moving. So the issue then became, how do I move tickets? Billy Corgan started asking him, hey, how do I move tickets? What do we do? And he talked about, he didn't want to seem very egotistical, but the sort of the concept of last known good, which the last time we sold a bunch of tickets and we was able to do very well, I being Nick Aldis was doing the 10 pounds of gold series, and I was the world champion. So they put the belt back on Nick Aldis. And over time, of course, Nick Aldis was taking on more responsibility, but he was still just kind of a talent because he didn't want to become the Office. Let's put it like that. So, but he talked about what essentially changed. That over time, he sort of got I'll take it from here. I think those were his exact words that, Billy Corgan pretty much just said, I got it from here. I could take it from this point forward. And Billy took over the creative. And it's almost exactly the same situation that happened with Tony Khan, where the company was doing just fine as long as Tony Khan was the money man and just going along with whatever the boys wanted. Things were going okay. And then he started putting his own fingers in it. And this is what Nick Aldis started to say, there were things happening that he didn't agree with, gags the Gimp, socially distanced matches or whatever. And things just went downhill from there. And he re-signed a contract, a yearly contract. And he said he had to give them 60 days notice. That's why he said, he was leaving in 60 days. But if they were going to release him, he needed a 90-day notice. So he decided, after he had a conversation, he being Billy Corgan had a conversation with Mickie James in which he said that he told Mickie James that he was angling to get the title back, basically that he was politicking. And essentially that turned that into a storyline at first, and then it basically turned into he worked himself into a shoot. I said all of that not to recap the Sam Roberts interview, but to say, if you watch this show, you'll see that Nick Aldis knows what he's talking about. This show was awful. It was awful. And not even, I won't diss the wrestlers themselves. The creative was pitiful. Pitiful. From top to bottom, pitiful. All right, let's get into this. Jordan Clearwater wins the NWA TV title. I don't even remember the name of the guy he beat. Don't care. Didn't write it down because I saw it at the end. Jordan Clearwater, good young talent. He wasn't even on the pay-per-view. This was on the pre-show. So it is what it is. It's a good start for him. But the plan was to get all of Idolmania a championship. So Jordan Clearwater won the TV title that was abandoned by Tyrus. Then Cyan went on to defeat Dak Draper to remain being the NWA National Heavyweight Champion. Dak Draper looks great. He looks phenomenal. Cyan is who he is, but Dak Draper looked tremendous. I remember him from Ring of Honor. He was actually pretty good there. Had a nice little persona there. The Mile High Magnum, kind of cocky, pretty arrogant. Didn't see much of him in NWA. He just seemed to come out of nowhere. Just a guy they brought in for this pay-per-view, I guess. So then Cyan cut a promo and said that everyone should be thanking his father, who is Austin Idol, for putting together a group of killers that is willing to show anyone and everyone what it means to be a champion. And that there's one more piece left, and that's Tyrus winning the World Heavyweight title. And I was like, oh, for sure it's not going to happen now because, the heels are going to be victorious and they're going to walk around with all the belts. And there it is. Tyrus defeats Trevor Murdoch and Matt Cardona to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Tyrus. The fucking Funkasaurus is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And he won with a Tongan death grip. Oh, you heard me. He won the title with a Tongan death grip. My brothers in Christ, shall we bow our heads and say our final goodbyes to the NWA? Because I can pretty much promise you this. I am done with NWA. All right. This is the worst possible thing that you can have to. And it's not even the issue. See, the thing is, Tyrus being the champion, bad. But there were other things on this show that I felt were bigger slaps in the face. And it was just kind of like, I don't know, you get smacked in the face. You're like, man, don't do that. Smack, smack. And just smack. Like just back and forth. Front hand, backhand. Front hand, backhand with the smacks in the face. And you're just kind of like, yo, people paid for this fucking event. At least somebody did. I didn't. But somebody did, for Christ's sake. This event sucked. Tyrus is one of the worst wrestlers of all time. He is so incredibly boring. His matches, for starters, he barely has matches because he moves worse than Andre at WrestleMania 3. That's how bad he moves. I mean, he is an absolutely dreadful wrestler. He moves like his legs are stuck in quicksand. I mean, he has the mobility of a 75-year-old fucking stroke victim. This guy has no movement and no agility. He can't even take bumps. This isn't some I hate him because he's a heel. No, it's not I hate him because he's on Fox News. No, I do not like anything about this performer. Nothing. He's not even a funny troll. It'd be one thing if he couldn't really work, but he was funny and entertaining, like Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal can't wrestle for shit. But Jinder Mahal was fucking funny as the world champion. At least he was entertaining. At the very least, the modern day Maharaja was funny. The Indian dancing, the cockiness of it. It was funny. It was entertaining. Tyrus, no. No, he is not. He sucks, bro. In ring, sucks. Outside the ring, sucks. What are they looking to bring to the wrestling business when Tyrus is your world champion? I mean, god damn. This is worse than Trevor Murdoch. Like, Trevor Murdoch was bad. It was truly, truly embarrassing. Now, having, Trevor Murdoch defeat Nick Aldis was good because it told an excellent story in doing this. And this is what, Nick Aldis said, like, hey, once Dave Lagana was gone, he took over doing the 10 Pounds of Gold series. So he's basically doing them himself. And this all led to him dropping the belt to Trevor Murdoch. And then that's kind of when he got pushed out of the way and the old, I'll take it from here. So it's been shit since, and it's pretty clear why it's been shit since. This card was built terribly. But Tyrus becoming the world champion, it is, I'm telling you, man, watching this in real time made me want to, I was eating a donut, which I shouldn't have been eating anyway, but I stopped eating a donut. Like, I literally put that donut back in the case. I took 3 bites of it and just put it back and was like, you know what? I ain't supposed to be eating after 8 o'clock anyway. It was just, okay, man. I needed something. I needed to pick me up watching this fucking show. This show was stressing me out. I was stress eating watching this show. Because I'm like, goddamn, I gotta go to work in the morning. Why am I watching this shit? I should just go to bed. Fuck this show. And I'm like, no, I gotta see the main event. It's almost over. And then I take 3 bites, literally 3 bites of a glazed donut. Tongan death grip, slam pin. I put the donut away and I turned the pay-per-view off. All right. I didn't even see the celebration. I just turned it off. All right. I turned it off. I rebuke thee. This show fucking sucks. Oh God, what the fuck, Billy Corgan? Look, it's his money. As long as it's his money, I don't care. He ain't fuck over none of my money. Hopefully he ain't fuck over none of your money either. All right? Because making Tyrus the world champion, look, anything that you want to try to do to grow the brand, you just shot it in the dick. Nobody cares. He wants to do Power Live. Oh yeah, great. You're gonna do Power Live with fucking Brodus Clay as the world champion. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck. Wink, wink. Get the fuck out of here. Oddly enough, somebody earlier today, probably the blackface of Fightful, one of those guys, was talking about how only one black man had ever been the NWA world champion. And people were trolling him saying Tyrus is going to win it again. Tyrus is going to be the second black man to become the NWA world champion. He's mixed, by the way, but yeah, he's black. And nobody believed it. I didn't even believe it. I just looked at it and was like, yeah, right. Billy Corgan he survived the 90s. Clearly, he can't be on drugs anymore. I was wrong. He must have been smoking that Marilyn Manson because he's out of his fucking mind. He off his gourd to give the title to Tyrus. It is if that whole Austin Theory shit wouldn't have happened on Raw, this would have been the single worst creative decision probably of 2022. As far as a single creative thing that occurred, this is probably the worst. Putting one of the trashiest, most garbage, most audience reviling. I mean, this guy isn't just. It's not an issue that Tyrus can't draw. Tyrus is literally an anti-draw. It is literally, even if you're not offended by his politics, you have to be offended by his in-ring work. Even if you are the most MAGA red hat Republican, you still are not a fan of Tyrus in a wrestling ring, okay? Even then, even if you like him on TV, even if you like him on whatever shows he's on Fox, he still has no business being a world champion or a champion of any kind in the year of our by God 2022. Billy Corgan needs Jesus. He needs to get baptized. He needs to get born again. Okay? It's over, right? It's over. I can promise you I'm not doing NWA anymore. This might be the last NWA event I even watch. I'm that offended right now. I'm that pissed off right now. Let's speed roll through the rest of this because he offended me again later. Earlier he offended me. Casket match, Max the Impaler, who's everybody's favorite wrestler now, defeated Natalia Markova in a casket match. Okay, whatever. The whole Max the Impaler stuff. Let's get this out of the way because I kind of touched on it and I didn't expect it to be as big as it was. I know when I mentioned it again, when I mentioned it on SmackDown, I had not seen the Twitter kerfuffle. But having now sat through that and everybody being fake, it was very weird. The PWI posted an article that they did with Max the Impaler where they were trying to act like they were always Max the Impaler fans. So I looked up the PWI 150. So clearly Max the Impaler is one of their favorite wrestlers, right? They would be higher on the list. Max the Impaler is 130 out of 150. Everybody's favorite wrestler now is 130 and out of 150. It was fan baiting garbage that PWI was doing. Oh, we want to troll Sarah Logan too. It was like, okay, look, Sarah Logan did a little bit more than copying her homework. She Xeroxed her fucking homework. Even yes, the inspirations are the same. You can say, and yes, it's true also that Sarah Logan literally does live a Viking lifestyle. She had a Viking wedding. She had been doing sort of the Viking face paint stuff for a while now. She didn't go full born with it until now, but she was kind of dabbling or playing around with it. And then Maxine Paler had the full thing. You know, she had the full the dreadlocks and the black paint on the face and all that kind of stuff. She's been doing that for a while. And Sarah Logan did Jack that. Two things can be true at once. Sarah Logan is legitimately doing the Viking thing, and she also jacked Maxine Paler's look. It is what it is. Wrestling, people steal gimmicks all the time. It's all about whether you get busted or not. I can't tell you how many fake Kanes and fake Undertakers that are floating around. Fake people doing rock gimmicks, or, you know, everybody in a mask wanting to do the 619 and all that kind of shit. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, this is wrestling. It's a copycat industry. Most people are just very upset because Sarah Logan is a Republican. At least that's what I think. You know, I saw somebody very interestingly say, well, Sarah Logan can't really be a Viking. She's from Louisville, Kentucky. And I was looking like, and you are celebrating some they them. Like, Max is female. Because if you were serious about Max being some they, then you would be mad that Max was even on the PWI 150, right? Because it's not a woman, right? So she shouldn't be there, right? Right? Can't be on the men's list, can't be on the women's list, can't be on the list at all, right? Nobody said anything because nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck about Maxine Paler. They just hate Sarah Logan. That's really all it boils down to. I can admit both things are true. Sarah Logan did steal her shit. But a lot of the stuff that people are talking about when it comes to their love of Maxine Paler is absolute bullshit. Right? It's bullshit. The highest, I think, amount of exposure Maxine Paler had was doing a job on Impact. I think she might have done a job on Dark. But I know she wrestled on Impact recently and lost. It's not like, you know, she was on national TV or anything like that. But again, Sarah Logan Xeroxed her homework. It is what it is. She deserves all the attacks she's been getting, all the knockoff stuff she's been getting. I mean, when you steal somebody's game, that's what you get. At the same time, though, a lot of these fans are fake. They're phony. It's fake outrage. And it is what it is. I'm not going to call it anything else. It's fake outrage. But Maxine Paler won, so I guess everybody's happy now. Nobody watched this show, though. EC3 cut a promo saying that Thomas Latimer, his greatest enemy was himself, and that control your narrative is an idea, it's to tell your story, and it's a hero's journey. It's a hero's journey. And the entire story they've been telling with Tom Latimer and EC3 have all been about, has Tom Latimer changed? Tom Latimer supposedly had grown up. He's an all-new man now. He's not the same rage monster that he was before. So the 9th match on a 12-match card. 12 matches on this card. All right. Match 9. EC3 versus Tom Latimer. The match that Billy Corgan was most proud of. The match that Billy Corgan used as an example of why does Nick Aldis hate the company? I'm sorry that's not a match anyone wants to see. What's so wrong with that match? This match ended in disqualification. Oh yeah, buddy. This match ended in disqualification. How did we get there? How did we get that you put all this effort? You used this match to put over the event. You said this match is going to be a great match. It's going to be something that everybody's really going to enjoy. And then you ended in disqualification. Why did he do that? Well, they did this thing. EC3 was in the match with Tom Latimer, and they were trying to wrestle. EC3 kept trying to play away from him. Get away from him, and then he decided he's going to antagonize Tom Latimer. He kept trying. You know, hit me, pushing him, trying to get him to attack him, all that kind of stuff. Latimer wants to wrestle. EC3 wants to fight. That's the story that they're telling. Then EC3 gets on the microphone. The match is still going on, by the way. He says that he wants to see Tom Latimer fight. He said the only time Tom Latimer is good at fighting is when he's resisting arrest. And he said that we should get some of I guess he says New Orleans finest out here. Making fun of the time that Tom Latimer got arrested. Thomas Latimer didn't play into it. He just kind of shrugged it off and was like, whatever. So then EC3 said, okay, maybe you got a limp fist to go with your limp dick. And Tom Latimer just kind of was like, come on, man, let's just have this match and yada, yada, yada. EC3 starts talking about how he's going to Tom Latimer. Maybe Tom Latimer has changed. Maybe Tom Latimer won't self-destruct. Maybe Tom Latimer has grown up. Then he says, well, there is just one other thing. And then he starts talking about his wife, Camille, and says that she'll never love him. And then Tom Latimer spazzed out and beat him up. Which, come on, man, that's light. Your wife will never love you. Like, she already married him. EC3, he's already married. What the fuck? They're already married. Anyway, Tom Latimer spazzed out, beat up EC3, pushed down the referee, got disqualified. This is where I wanted to turn the show off. Because I was like, yeah, fuck Billy Corgan, all right? Billy Corgan is full of shit 2 times over. Full of shit. Filled to the brim with shit. You booked this match. Use this match as the selling point of your show to show Nick Aldis, yes, we still have serious angles. And you end this fucking pay-per-view match with a disqualification. Fuck you in the ass. Colby Corino was defeated by Davey Edwards. I don't understand why either one of them was on pay-per-view. Then we had the mask versus mask match. Question mark versus question mark. So you got question mark 1, which is clearly fucking Rodney Mack under a mask. He's being cornered by Aaron Stevens. Question mark 2 is some fat fuck. I have no idea who that is. But Kratos is in his corner. So question mark 2 pins question mark 1. So we have to unmask the original question mark. Aaron Stevens removes the mask of question mark, but then throws a towel over his head so you don't see who it is. And then they run away through the crowd. So the crowd got gypped the crowd got gypped. If you didn't know it was Rodney Mack, and everybody does know it was Rodney Mack, you didn't get to see the person be exposed. The heels got away. The heels got away without showing who they really are. Ain't that about up? God damn it. Oh my God. Could you imagine them doing that in Mexico? Oh yeah, you lost your mask. Oh, I'm going to throw a towel over your head. And we're going to run away. Look, I get it. Heel's going to heel, but come on, bro. This is such a waste of everybody's time. What was the point of the gimmick if you're not going to expose the fucking guy? You could have ripped his mask off on a promo backstage or something like that if he's going to throw a towel over his head. And this match was trash. So it's like the match itself wasn't anything worth watching. But then I thought you were going to do something maybe fun with the unmasking, and you didn't even do that. Whatever. Moving on. Kerry Morton in his 9th NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship match, because it seems like every time this title appears, the only person who could wrestle for it is Kerry Morton. And he finally wins the belt after Homicide beat the shit out of his dad, Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. So Kerry Morton is the champion. Yay, good for Kerry. It took him long enough. Homicide beat him enough. He beat him like 7 times, for Christ's sake. Odinson came out there, pretty much put out an open challenge and was attacked by some bum named Thrill Billy Cyrus. Thrill Billy Silas. Silas. And Odinson, if you've ever seen him, looks like he's chiseled out of granite. Thrill Billy Silas looks like he came right out of a Wingstop. I'm talking, maybe he was the chef at Wingstop. That's how he looks. And guess who won? The chef at Wingstop. What the fuck? The 6th match, NWA United States Tag Team Championship. The Fixers defeat the Spectaculars. After this Rolando Freeman guy beats fucking Matt Cardona twice, his tag team can't beat 2 fat guys. It's just so dumb. The women's tag team championships, Missa Kate and Maddie Ranowski versus the Pretty Empowered. Pretty Empowered win the match. Okay, fine, whatever. The NWA Tag Team Championship, another seemingly the best of 450. NW Hawks Aerie versus La Rebellion. La Rebellion wins via roll up, but they've beaten Hawks Aerie 600 times already. They feel like they've beaten them 16, 17 times already. It's got to be. I haven't been keeping count. I don't keep count, but they've beaten these guys quite a few times. They beat these guys a lot. Can we please move on? Please. Camille versus Kylan King versus Chelsea Green was the 10th match. 11th, I'm sorry, the 11th match. Camille wins after she pins Chelsea Green. The story was between Camille and Kylan King. I don't know why Chelsea Green is in this match. I have no idea why she's here. She clearly wasn't going to win. Why is she here? She's here to take the pin. That's why. So Kylan King worked very, very hard and has been performing very well in NWA from what I've seen. Been watching her in NWA. She's been doing very good. And her reward is to get jobbed out again. This time via Chelsea Green. So she didn't get pinned, but Chelsea Green got pinned. So that means Kylan King has to stay in the title picture, having now lost 2 title matches. Billy Corgan. Billy. William Patrick Corgan. William Patrick Billy Bob Corgan. What the fuck? I like Camille, though. She's been doing very good. She's been growing a lot. Camille is what Jade Cargill should be at this point, because Camille actually gets opponents and she gets tested. So I mean, she's getting better. You know, she was actually basically, I remember when I used to do power reviews, I used to call her Girl Sheamus, because that's what she basically was. That all she really did was like these big overhand rights and stuff like that. She was okay, but she was stilted. She didn't. But now she's a little bit more confident. She's actually a lot better in the ring. She doesn't move around like a giraffe anymore. She's a little bit better. So I'm very proud of her. She's improving. The women's division in NWA is fine, except the tag team division, because they don't have one. so they're doing okay, I guess. In a nice little moment, Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics came out. He didn't have anything to say, really. It was just the NWA likes to bring out old guys every once in a while to show to the audience that they still care, and for the old guys to give the new NWA the thumbs up. And that's what Bobby Fulton did. Bobby Fulton apparently had throat cancer, so his voice was a little out of whack. But it was nice to see him. If you don't remember Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, you're probably not old enough. But the network exists, so go watch the Fantastics as a tag team. They were very good. That was the show. The show was awful. It was an awful, awful program. Punishment after a day that I've had. I am truly embarrassed. This was an embarrassment to the business. To bookend this conversation, Nick Aldis said that he had what was called the Harley Race test. Because he was talking about how Harley Race, initially when NWA relaunched, Harley Race didn't want anything to do with it. Because the NWA name had been run through the mud for so long, and it had been a couple of rough years with certain people owning the company and owning the trademarks and everything, and wasn't doing too much with it and wasn't really working out. So Harley Race didn't want anything to do with it. And then he says that after he started doing the 10 Pounds of Gold series, I think it might have been the Cody series that he was doing, that he actually was able to get Harley Race to sort of give his good graces to the NWA. He was actually willing to participate in some NWA events and be on camera because of the way that they were now promoting pro wrestling as, dignified. And this is Nick Aldis' terms, in a dignified and respectful way, that they were really truly looking at the history of the NWA and showing pro wrestling in a positive light, that it was a serious product. And he said basically that's what it was. That's how he wanted to do NWA. That was what he wanted to do. And he says that when the product stopped passing the Harley test, the Harley race test, is when he knew he had to leave. Look, this is not just the Harley race test. Okay? This shit doesn't pass the fucking Phineas O'Godwin test. Right? This shit does not pass the Mantar test. I don't think Mantar will want to be affiliated with this fucking show. You gotta be goddamn broke to be in any way affiliated with this program. Right? You gotta be. You gotta be struggling to be on this fucking show, to be anywhere near the arena, or even fucking watching it. I'm maybe giving away too much about myself. I got too much time on my hands on a Saturday night. Alright? This show, trash. It's garbage. Put it in the shredder. It's over.